935, K-Day, Noah Ayala in the building. As soon as I heard about this next interview, I was like, oh, I can't pass this up, because not only is this a crazy story, but these are the stories that are part of the culture of what makes hip-hop what it is today, man. And I feel these stories they're really important to share, and people need to hear this. So sit in the studio with me along with this family, which is dope in itself. Chi Ali.
Peace, King. How
you doing, man?
I'm excellent now.
Oh, man.
We made it.
I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting here talking to you, man.
Well, we here, God bless. Thank you for having me, bro.
Hey, so first of all, you have a documentary. Now, is it out or is it coming out?
It's coming out. It was actually premiered last night at the Beverly Hills Film Festival. So we entered it into a few film festivals. That was the first one that we wanted to rock out with. So that was the actual premiere. But we having like a big New York premiere, and then it'll have a release date once we finish shopping it. Like, we really just trying to create the buzz to shop it. So we haven't really started shopping and got distribution yet.
Right.
So, soon come, because we're getting a lot of nice feedback. So we moving.
Right. I wasn't able to make the premiere last night, but shout out to your people. They sent me a link to the advanced screening, so I was able to watch the whole thing last night.
Right.
And I want to get into your story. I want to touch on parts of the documentary. I want to talk about the music. But I watch a lot of documentaries. I was blown away, man.
Thank you.
There was a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's like watching it. I watched it actually for the first time last night myself. They was always sending me clips, but I said I wanted to watch it in full, on the big screen with everybody. So, but it's me, so it's hard to really gauge, like, is it good? Is it not good? It's interesting to me because it's my life,
dude,
you know what I mean? And I know everyone, but it's great to get different feedback.
Yeah, and it was so dope because, a lot of artists are in there that popped up and showed love. And then the part towards the end when you just, like, you're telling your story and you start crying. And I was just like, oh, man, it's real.
Yeah, all day.
All right, so take me back to the beginning, man. Like, Chi Ali, Native Tongues represent one of the illest hip-hop crews of all time. But take me, like, to the
the beginning is Bronx, Co-op City. That's where I'm from. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I grew up in Co-op City. I guess around the time when I was like 12, 13, Queen Latifah used to frequent the neighborhood. Her dancers lived in Co-op. Her dancers was cool with my older brother. So, I was like the little cute kid. Oh, that's Ray's little brother Chi, so everybody always took to me. And I used to just be around them. Like, I guess a lot of it, I was young, and that was Latifah, and then at the time, like Special Ed, MC Light, EPMD, everybody used to be over there. Like,
and they were, at that time, they were Queen Latifah and Special Ed, and people knew who they were.
Like Native Jungle Brothers, like, they was popping. They was what was going on. So, these was the motherfuckers that I came home from school and was watching while I was doing my homework, like, oh, that made me fall in love with what we call hip-hop.
Right.
So it was dope to actually be among them. And to be seen as a peer, even though I was young, it was like I was rocking and rolling with them. So it was a great experience. And through Latifah, I met Shakim and Baby Chris Lighty, rest in peace. And Chris is who actually signed me. I was the first artist signed to his Violator label. And the rest is kind of like history.
You talk about the documentary that you got in good with Queen Latifah because you'd help her carry groceries every day.
Yeah. She used to go to the supermarket. I used to follow her to the supermarket. She used to be like, "You coming?" I used to be like, "Yeah, I'm coming." I was just young.
That's how you gotta do it, rappers,
hanging
man.
Around. Yeah,
Take
I was
notes.
just hanging around.
So what happened first? Was it Native Tongues or was it Chris Lighty and then he pretty much got you in Native Tongues?
It was Chris because my relationship was with Chris, but at the time he was kind of like at the forefront of the whole Native Tongue thing because he was managing the Jungle Brothers and Black Sheep. And I think he had got Tribe Day deal too. I think he was managing like most of the groups at the time. So when he signed me, it was just a natural, infusion. So, and we was all like Drez and I, we were all working together anyway. So it just made natural sense,
Right. And now, how old were you when you joined Native Tongues and you got signed your first deal?
I know when I was running around, it was from 11, 12, but I probably signed when I was 14 or 15, and then the album probably came out when I was 15 or 16, shit like that.
But damn, you were young though.
I was young.
Really, really young.
I was young.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me in the documentary, because I kind of identified with this because I too hung around with a lot of older cats. And like even when it comes to hip hop, I feel like I know a lot about hip hop I should know about only because I was schooled by so many older cats around me, like similar to your situation. What was that like being a young kid and you're with, the hip hop gods, you were Native Tongues, man? Like,
for me, it made my childhood growing up amazing. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world. like I said, it was the motherfuckers we grew up watching. So it was icons like to meet KRS-One and to do shows with KRS-One. Like KRS-One at that
he's
time.
one of my favorites too, man. He's in my top 5 for sure.
KRS-One, that was like everything. I mean, from Big Daddy Kane, like I was running around with dudes like that. And I mean, it was just a great experience. I probably took a lot for granted just because I was so young that's all I really
You think
knew.
it's normal? Like,
yeah,
I expect this now. Like,
right. So a lot that I see people, just people just trying to get on and just how people just want to get next to people. A lot of that I took for granted. And when you see it now, it's like, damn. But sometimes it's good because, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen,
Sometimes you got to get it and then lose it so then you can appreciate and get it again.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people...
so we had to get it again stages again. We had to get it again stage.
Hey, the documentary is going to be a big part of that, though. So, okay, Native Tongues, you dropped the debut album. You had a guest verse on Black Sheep's album. So all these good things are going on. Movie,
I was in a movie Strapped. Basically, yeah, we was moving and we started working on my second album. And somewhere in between that, I guess Chris took Violator to Def Jam. And when he did that, Relativity had the option to keep me or let me go with him, and they opted to keep me. But Chris was really that rap guy, and he was definitely my connection with them. So once he left, it was just really a lot of legal shit because my dad was my manager, and he felt like, the monies and points and things of that nature that Chris was getting, he felt like we should split that with the label.
Right. And of course the label, I already know the answer to that question.
The label felt like y'all wasn't getting it, and my pops was like, but y'all wasn't getting it either, so let's split it. So it was just a bunch of back and forth, and at the time, I guess I was probably around 16, 17, 18, and that's just when I just delved into the streets, regular shit that regular kids do, I think.
Now, I feel like your transformation at this time in your life anyway was kind of like the opposite of most people's trajectory, as where like you had a successful career, I'm assuming some money in your pocket, girls probably trying to holler at you. What made you want to shift from, having what's perceived at least as like a pop and rap career to go to the streets?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I can say, all I can say is I always, like, since I was young, I always like had an affection for guns. Like my brother probably, that was my older brother, and he, caught a few shared cases back in the day.
Brother, looking at you right now, like, hold on, man, this tape rolling. Hold on, fam.
Nah, but like real talk, like I remember telling him, like I recall like times when me and my moms would go see him on Rikers Island, and it was like, yo. Like, it was a part of me, as much as he could say, yo, stay out of trouble, it was a part of me that was like, nah, like, I guess I had to see it.
Yep. And I think a lot of people don't realize, and one of the things I think the documentary does so well is that it kind of makes you realize as a fan, like, yo, man, these are artists, these are MCs, rappers, we look up to them, but at the same time, human beings that have a real life outside of what you see on camera. Yeah, man.
Everyday shit, everyday problems. Like even the rich people, like everyday problems.
Yeah.
They get mad when they food don't come right, and the regular bullshit.
And what's funny? It's like, I was using this analogy the other day. I feel like life almost is like a game of Tetris. Like it just gets harder. Like it's a different set of challenges. The blocks speed up, but you gotta
because you getting more bills. You getting older. You slowing down. The bills don't stop. Then the kids come. That's more bills and more.
But them Tetris blocks are just
like kids is like you just worry a lot with kids. It's a big responsibility.
Do you think like starting to like come of age in the industry, and then I think everyone who works in the industry, whether music, radio, media, whatever, I think you start to see what it really is. You think you got jaded a little bit once you started to see like it was kind of more than just like...
I mean, I never really liked the bullshit. So I think even now, like a lot of people like, yo, record. Like I just came from a little tour over in Europe. So a lot of people's like, yo, you gonna record some new shit? And it's like, I'm with it. The studio part is dope. Going, we pick beats, lay it down, create. That's dope. Like we could do that all day. But it's the shit that's after that I can't fuck with. And it's like, I'm just gonna be up front. Like if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If I don't, I don't. But I'm not gonna like do the yo, we gonna do the song and then you gotta text me 25 times. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm not
that's that
like,
fake shit. Or just at least that industry shit.
It's just like
man.
motherfuckers want you to suck dick and it's like I can't do it.
Fam, you didn't tag me, you didn't repost my come on.
It's too much. And after a while it's like that's becoming the norm where everyone does it so much where people think that's regular, So when you not on it like that and feel a way about it, you abnormal. You the one that's crazy. And
you're the weird one for actually being genuine.
And it's like
in an industry of fake shit.
And you would think today it would be easier because, like, think back in the days if we wanted to do a collabo, I had to get to Cali or you had to get to New York or we had to meet in the middle and really make it work. Now you could just fly it to me. Fly it back. We done. So you would think it's so simple now. It will be easier. And it seems like sometimes it could be harder.
Yeah. So
you ain't get it. It went over her head.
Hey, and real quick, shout out to your whole family here because
big shouts to my wife.
I think this is so dope. Like
and
everyone's
the whole
here.
Team, my daughters and the crew, my brother and my man Mo and Sai and old Trouble, Tobias, everybody. And Emma here working hard. She flicking it up. And baby girl on the camera with the braids. We got Cockroach in the building. Everybody here, we here.
All right, so we're rapping. You start to fall out of love with this game. Or I don't even want to say fall out of love, but you start to just, you want to do the music.
I just fell in love with other shit, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's a great way of saying it. So you talk about having your first daughter, right, and then you guys move in together.
Right.
And then her brother gets out of jail. Let me explain it.
Basically, I got with my daughter's mom and I. We had my daughter in '98, and then we were living together. And at some point, her brother was in prison. He had came home and he was living with us. And I guess little small tensions turned into big tensions. Yeah. And
roommates will do it to you though.
Yeah, and, it was. I mean, it was a lot going on from roommates to street shit. It was a lot of elements, a lot of
dynamics. Yeah,
and unfortunately, we had a disagreement, and I made a bad decision, and I shot him and killed him, and I ended up going on a run and then being captured and serving 12 years on a 14-year sentence and getting my degree and trying to get my life together, and we here.
Yeah, nah, man, it's so like, and in the part of the documentary when when you're describing it and the look on your face and I was watching. I was like, "Is he high?"
I was always high, but I'm always high.
Me too. All right,
but all day, like from the wake up. So not being high is probably more abnormal.
My point was though. Like, I couldn't tell if you were just high or if you were like really crying and like tearing up, and then as the scene goes on, you see like it's a raw emotion when you're describing that night, when you're describing the story, and as the viewer, I was kind of taking that ride with you, and I was just like, thinking about like, what if that was me? We're all been in situations where like we make snap decisions that could change our whole fucking life.
I mean, anything. I mean, making a left versus a right can change fate and history so much, but you got to live and learn and just go on with it. It's like at the end of the day, I made a bad decision. Like, come on, like that was my daughter's uncle.
Right.
My baby mom's brother. But it's like, at the end, like I fucked up. I was a stupid, young, dumb kid with a gun on some rah-rah shit. And now what? Like, what, I'm going to kill myself now? Like, what I'm going to do now? So now it's about making it right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I was sentenced to 14 years. That's the state. That's that's this government mandating what they feel is right. But what I do now, like, is on me. Like, ain't nobody mandating when I'm speaking at prisons
and I think,
or schools.
Honestly,
that's on me.
That's so important because it's like, anything can happen. We all make mistakes. We all do dumb shit. But it's what you do after and where you take it and how you use whatever it was to build, for the next chapter. And I think you're a perfect example of that, man. I think it's commendable.
Well, thank you. I mean,
For real.
I look at it like I'm the average black kid that's grown up in most of these inner cities. I feel like I faced a lot of the trials and tribulations that the average kid goes through. Mine may be on a different level because I was with the music. Some things probably more heightened and some things probably not as much. But I feel like my story, like, motherfucker can identify with, like, even if you can't identify with every chapter of it, it's gonna be chapters where you be like, yo, word, like him too, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was me, son. And I think that's why it's just something people need to get into, like, and we brought some books, like I wrote an autobiography along with the documentary. Like, the documentary is like the edited version.
Yeah, because I'm watching the thing last night and I had there's so many more questions and details about certain events I want to know about.
The book is definitely a lot more depth, and there's a lot more stories where you could get more into me and just figure out like, oh, all right, son was this
I'm not gonna
type
lie, dude. You know what I want to know more about, and I was not expecting the movie to take a turn the way it did. So after you did what you did that night, and now you're on the run, you're wanted by, the police. You flip it, and it's like going on the run 101. And Chi Ali actually gives us a breakdown of how to go on the run, which I just thought was dope, dude. Like, I don't say do that, but I'm just saying, like, it was dope, though, because I didn't know that.
I mean, that's...
Because I got shitty credit, Chi Ali, so I might take a couple of those tips and really...
Alonzo Demetrius Corbin, that was my name on the run.
That was just an ill part of the movie, because I wasn't expecting that, man, because, it's like, we're on...
That was the ill part of being on the run. That's my word. When I really went in the gun store and bought a gun, and like I was dumb nervous.
You were like, what?
I'm like, yo, I'm going to jail. Police is gonna be outside. Like, cause in New York, you could have a clean record and you can't buy no gun. Yeah. But yeah, man, like that. What I was saying was that was very interesting to me because that was it was ill because where I come from, you can't buy no guns, and down south, like you said, it's just different. The whole movement is different, and like even with the going to motor vehicles, like New York, that wouldn't have happened like that. Like just New York is a process. Down there, you could take your written test if you got a car, take the road test as soon as you finish, and leave with a license.
So how long were you on the run for down south?
I guess about. I was on the run for like total, I think 15 or 16 months. I wasn't on down south the whole time though.
What's that feeling internally like? Like, what are you saying to yourself, like, during this 15, 16 months?
I mean, I guess different stages. I mean, there's definitely stages where you're scared. You feel alone, lonely. You can't really reach out to your loved ones, the people who you've known and been able to reach out to for help throughout life. So it definitely was lonely times. Then it's times when you feel super free, like, yo, I'm on the run for murder, so I can really do basically anything I want in life right now. Like, so it was times where I felt like that. It was, different feelings, different times. It was times I felt like vulnerable, like, damn, I'm gonna go to jail forever. Then it was also times where I felt like they ain't never gonna catch me. So it's all every day. It was like it was just a different vibe. I mean, I think for me being Chi Ali, it was a little harder because I couldn't just go anywhere. Like, if you was on the run for a body and you in California, you could go to fucking Minnesota, and for the most part, you should be all right. You know what I mean? But with me, it was like, it's always that motherfucker like, oh, shit, where I know you from? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, did that happen a lot? Or
yeah, what I think what happened more than like, oh, shit, Chi Ali, will be more like, damn, you look mad familiar, where they don't really know where they know me from.
But they just know,
they know me, baby. Like, yo, we went to school together, and I'm like, nah, I'm not from over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. The old rap shit, they just couldn't figure it out because it was just so long ago. But it was an ill experience, bro. It was experience, and I guess it was a chapter of my life that had to be written and I had to go through. That was what was in the cards for me. So, that's where we was at with it.
So then you decided to go back to New York, and what was your deciding factor in that? You were just tired of...
A lot was, I guess, the America's Most Wanted. That kind of made me want to leave where I was at.
It's so crazy you bring that up because in the movie when it shows that, I remember seeing that.
Right.
And like now that I'm a little bit older, and now I caught some what's his name, Bill Walsh or John Walsh.
Jonathan.
I wasn't feeling some of his some of his bars. I wasn't really feeling them. He was throwing some shots, man.
John Walsh.
He used to be the funky road runner, but he's not running no more. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Suck ass nigga. Yeah, but But my shit is when they air those shows. Like, and it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but when they air those shows, it's like you're guilty, basically. It ain't they're saying you're guilty. And, I mean, that's kind of swaying judgment. But, I mean, they do that on purpose to try to flush you out. That's how they try to flush you out, to get the people to turn on you. Oh, he's a crazy killer. He killed the motherfucker over nothing. Oh, shit. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
No context at all.
Kill me. You know what I mean? That's how they try to do, and they scare the people and make the people hate you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's not the situation. Like, my situation, I feel like I took somebody's life. Like, I'm not taking no severity away from that, but I feel it's like America's, like, that shit happens a lot in the hood. Like, I didn't understand, like, it being on America's Most Wanted. I think that they kind of exploited the music shit a little bit.
Definitely, and I think now when you can look back, and now we can look back in the year 2019 and watch the old footage of that, they definitely, like, it was.
Like, it was a bit much. Like,
yeah.
You know, but that's what they do.
So
but that's part of getting the people to flip on you.
Yep. So
I guess that's what eventually happened because somebody told where was it.
Wait, somebody told where you were at?
I mean, when they caught me, I didn't tell them where I was at.
but you were in New York, so you had to know coming back to New York.
I'm saying they came to a part, like I was in an apartment. You know what I mean? Like somebody.
Oh yeah, so you're okay.
I mean? Like that's like if you wanted in Cali and you just go to his house, like if they just know you're there, like how did they just know you?
Somebody had to see you. Somebody had
something
to
or say something. But you live and you learn. Obviously, I slipped. That was me slipping.
Now, one of the dope things is at this point, like, you get caught up in New York, you go to jail, but I thought it was dope that like your family stuck around you the whole time.
Definitely, even when I was on the run.
Like that was a blessing, man.
Definitely, I'm blessed. My brother.
Yeah, that's in here today. Like,
I mean, my brother, like my whole bid, he took care of me. And like my first 4-5 years coming home.
Damn, you say something interesting in the movie. You're like, yo, when you go to jail, you're not the only one serving time. Your family serves with you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're supportive,
right?
If they there for you, definitely. Because I mean, if they there for you, they financially taking a burden. Their time is taking a burden because they got to take hours to get on buses and then the mental too, because they deal with all the bullshit the CEOs put you through, and then to have to see somebody that you love, like for a mother and father to have to see something they made and watch and nourish from a child and do so many great things and say their first words, to have to see you in a cage with some motherfucker telling us we can't see our son no more.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Some motherfucker that's younger than me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy. And but I got to take responsibility, and that's part of the consequences to what I did. And my pops used to always tell me, don't put your life in these people's hands, man.
Yeah.
Don't put your life in these people's hands. And, I had to learn the hard way. And that's why I really enjoy, going talking to some of the kids in prisons and the schools and different things, because a lot of them is hard-headed. Like, a lot of them is me.
I feel like
but it's
part of your DNA
because
when
a
you're
lot
young.
of them is going to have to go through what I went through. And I tell them that because I see it. But if I could make 2 or 3 of them not have to go through that, then, then I did my due diligence.
Now, you're doing something with trying to abolish solitary confinement?
Yeah. I mean, we was working on that movement a while ago. My brother Five, was leading it. I think he's doing something else. But, I mean, we got a lot of traction on it because I think for the minors it's abolished. We was really trying to get solitary confinement abolished, but our main purpose was with juveniles, pregnant women, and people with mental disorders. Those 3 were what we were focusing on. And because a lot of the jail system now is people with mental health problems, and that's not really what prison is for. We got to put people in the right places to address issues if we want it to be rectified.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of mental health, man, I mean, one of the things we're all dealing with, and it's we're still really somber here, and it's like really affected us like the whole week, is Nipsey. And the mental health comes up.
I've been here since I landed, or I was supposed to land in the morning. I got here, I think, Monday. Like, wow. I mean, to his family, firstly, my condolences, just terrible loss. I mean, I met Nips probably on 3 occasions. I won't say I knew him, but I met him times we met. We definitely had great convo. It was definitely on a hip-hop basis, but it was just a mutual respect. And just since then, watching his growth has just been amazing.
All the things
like, and it's like, yo, homie, like, yo, why you shoot this shit? Like, kill me before I get to the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't kill me when it's time to go. Like, it was his time. Like, it was his time.
I'm telling Nipsey was really out here buying up the hood, like on some power-nomics, like.
It's crazy because I was doing Vlad yesterday and we was talking about it. And, Vlad's a white man and, his.
I know Vlad. What up, Vlad?
His peace. Yeah, no, Vlad's my man. But Vlad's a white guy, but his view, which I don't know that I can't say that I disagree with. He's just like, yo, but he got too much money to be there, yo. He's like, and I hear him, it's like, yo, when you got millions of dollars, it's motherfuckers on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's hungry. That really is hungry, like want to eat food, just wants to get a meal. So it can be dangerous because some people really don't have nothing to lose, and as much love as they want to have or may have in their heart, that hunger is kicking in more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard, but then how could you not honor a man who's trying to build his hood up? Who's trying to do what
doing it the
every
right
other
way, man.
ethnic group does for his hood. You gotta respect and honor that, and that's the movement we gotta be on, man. And I would like to say it's just maybe a bad apple, man, because I know for a fact that 9 out of 10 motherfuckers in that area, would protect him. You know what I mean? Would protect him.
Yeah, like you have no idea, especially living out here,
right?
being from out here. That caught all of us by surprise, man. Nobody Sunday afternoon was expecting that.
Yeah.
Nipsey out of all people, it's just sad, man. Sad situation all the way around.
But like, I mean, it's funny because yesterday morning I'm waiting for my wife and their flight to come in, and I don't know, it was something on Instagram I guess I was watching, and I think it was what his sister wrote, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I just cried, bro. I don't even know. Like, I just cried, bro. Like, that shit hurt me, bro. Just his, like, yo, to have met someone 3 times and be crying and feel the way I feel, that's how I know it was something different. Just that energy, it was something different. You know what I'm saying? Homie was different. He was a king,
and
bro.
that's the thing.
He was
when
a king. Like, homie took a good one, and that shit was kind of senseless, bro. And it's like, yo, we just got to do better. We got to control our egos. As black men, we got to not only get control of our egos and let that pride shit go out the door, but we got to fucking get the hate, like, and we just an angry group. Like, we angry. Like, as much love as it could be, like, that shit at the drop of a hat could flip with us. Like, and when it flip, it go real sideways real fast. And we just got to get some of that anger out of our hearts.
What I'm hoping is that out of this, people take the right lessons and not the wrong lessons, because it's starting to heat up out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm hoping is we could continue the legacy of Nipsey and not do the opposite. And I know in times like this, like...
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's going to be a little bloodshed at the beginning. But that's just what it is. It's like, I mean, it's ignorant. However, that's what we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And... we just got to get it together, man. Like, black men, we got to get it together for real.
Right.
We got to stop killing each other, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got to find something better to do with our time, man, because whether it's you, the motherfucker getting killed, or the motherfucker getting the time, that shit is just a waste. And that jail shit is the biggest waste of time. Like, that shit is just a waste of life. That shit is just a depressing, gloomy existence, bro.
Yeah, and really, it's like they win, man. When you it's slavery. It's modern day slavery. The jail system.
The worst.
They have you making toasters for 10 cents an hour.
Yo, that shit is the worst, man. Me personally, I'd rather be dead than go back. Like, I'd rather be dead straight up and down than go back to prison. That's me. But it's not that shit. It's not that you can't do it. It's old boys camp.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That shit is old boys camp.
Yeah.
But man, it's so.
And we saw the documentary.
It's so much more.
That's what I'm saying.
Out here, man.
And you one of them fly ones back in the day. You had ladies on. You was trying to get fresh in.
I got kids and a wife and family and friends and things I want to do. Like, I ain't touched $2, $3, $4 million yet.
Right.
Touch one. I mean, I done ran through it, but I ain't had it one. I need that. I need to keep that. I need to know that feeling.
So what's next, man? I know.
Book. Let me see that.
Yeah, where's the book at? Where's the book?
The book.
Let me see one too.
Another Kind of Freedom. The book. This is my autobiography, written, directed, produced by me. It's my life story.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it when I was in prison. It actually ends right before I get released from prison. It's a great read. It's a great read. I think we're trying to get it in schools and everything. You could go to chialibx.com and get it. chialibx.com. Go there. It's $20 if you ordering it. If you incarcerated and ordering from prison, it's 25% off. We got also a few other little special knick-knack deals with it. But like I said, $20 is for $20 you can't go wrong. It'll be a dope 3-4 hour read, or 8-9 if you're a little retarded. But whatever, however we work it out. As long as you get through it.
Wait, let me see how big this. Oh, this is small font though.
Yeah, you got it.
It's real small font. So I mean, in defense of retarded people, this might be like a 9 or 10 hour. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry. As long as they get through it, they will be better after.
Good. A week and a half.
They will be better after. And like I said, I think it's chapters and parts that people will definitely laugh, definitely cry, but I think also definitely identify with and be like, wow, like, especially growing up, if you between, I guess, 33 and 55,
right,
you would definitely get a lot from it, because you're going, certain shit, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember, you know what I mean? And it's shit like that we could pinpoint and be like, damn, I remember that shit is real.
Do you still keep in touch with a lot of people from Native Tongues, like Black Sheep and
Dres just hit
De
me.
La?
We're going to try to FaceTime him. Dres.
We got to FaceTime Dres from Black Street, or Black Street from Black Sheep.
Dres is my
My
bro.
bad, that's Teddy Riley. I apologize. Hip hop. People are looking at me right now like, you dumb motherfucker. Like,
Dres my bro. Me and him together all the time. Latifah, I see like red carpet shit. Q-Tip, like a red carpet after party.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
De La sometimes. But me and Dres really for the most part. He's not answering.
You got any desire to continue to make music, or is that in the plans?
Music is like my first love. That's where it started. So my thing is, if you'll never call me like, yo, Chi, I got some studio time, and I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm not coming.
So you always got bars.
Yeah, like I'm always intrigued by a nice beat. If I find a beat, or you know what I'm saying, like the music is the first love. So I'm with it. It just gotta make sense. Like I'm 42. Like it gotta be about something. Like I don't want to just be in the studio all day to say we put out an album that we really got the bread to finance or nothing. Like it just gotta make sense.
Rapping over trap beats.
You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense and we could I'm always with making some dope material. If we could put it together, let's go. Features, let's go. But just to be rapping, there's no time for hobbies. Like I got 3 children.
You got got real focused about life.
More children, grown up.
Family.
I got 3 children and 3 grown ups. Like yo,
they always asking for money.
Everything they want. Damn. Everything, food. This one,
food. I know you gotta feed them.
She just want food. Yeah, she just want to eat.
Always skinny ones want to eat the most too. Like, where does the food go?
She just want food, but they always want something. But that's just such as life. It was a time when I prayed for these days, when I couldn't wait to have these issues. So I'm blessed.
Nah, and I'll say it again, man. I think you're a great example of, something we should all try to role model ourselves after, man. You took a situation and you made the best of it, and you're continuing to right wrongs, if you will, and just, really show and prove.
I think everybody should try to do that. Like any situation, you got to try to make the best of it, especially if you cannot change what's going on. Like, suicide wasn't an option. Going on medication or drugs to get through it wasn't an option. Being a homo so I could get through it wasn't an option for me. I didn't have a choice. It was, back against the wall. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's knock it out. And once you mentally prep yourself, and that's what I think, like when I was on the run for that 15, 16 months, I think that time I knew what it was. And but I think it was needed, because I think that time I was mentally prepping myself, versus if I would have got locked up 2-3 days after, motherfucker never really been locked up before.
Yeah.
You panic. You start wanting to go home and don't realize it's a process. And I tell motherfuckers every day, when them handcuffs go on your wrist, it's a process. And the people that want to avoid the process are what we call rats. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, and it's not a quick one. I don't give a fuck if it's shoplifting. When them cuffs go on you, you going to be jammed up for a few hours. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, so this rat and snitching thing is really...
It's going to be a few hours, a process.
Since, because, hip-hop, we always talking about rat and snitching and everything. That's like really... I know it's a thing, but I didn't realize how prevalent it was, though. Vlad, speaking of Vlad, I saw an interview with him. He was interviewing a cop or whatever, and he said, it's like 80-90% of people, they avoid time by snitching.
And 80-90% of the things the police know, they know from snitches.
Damn.
I mean, where else? I mean, they driving around. What the fuck? They ain't in the spots and all that. How the fuck they know? You know what I'm saying? How they know?
Somebody got to be talking.
All right.
Damn.
But you know. But listen, man, this book, though,
Yes,
man,
get
this
the
is
book.
this is the crack we pushing now,
Yeah.
man. You
No,
heard?
but I just feel it's important we
This
let people
is
know
what
the
we
backstory
pushing,
so
man.
people can
Some
appreciate.
knowledgeable crack, man. Another kind of freedom. ChialiBX.com. Please show me some love and support. And it's a good book. It's a dope read. Like, my life is pretty funny. And I'm
Pretty funny.
it's pretty funny.
That's what it is, man. Chi Ali in the building. Thank you. The door's always open, man, so feel free. Like,
Yo,
anytime.
my brother, thank you for having me.